Hello, my name is Kelsey and today I'm going to be crocheting a beautiful princess style tulle dress for my daughter for an upcoming family photo shoot. So I'm not following a pattern or anything, I just have an idea and just like a little rough sketch of what I'm gonna do. And I have some clothing items of hers that currently fit that I'm going to base off of for my sizing. So I have this dress. The length is perfect on her and the waist is perfect and it's just beautiful. I love the high waistline. It's just super feminine and just adorable for a little girl. Now this dress, it's amazing, but it doesn't match our colors that we're going for our family photos. So I'm gonna make something inspired by this. So I love this dress. I love the length and the waist, like I mentioned, but I really love this little top. I love the texture of the ribbed look, and then I love the little frill along the collar. So I'm gonna try to copy the frill on this collar and the texture of this dress and combine the best, what I like the most out of them. Okay, so what I'm gonna be doing is the crochet part is basically just gonna be like the bodice, I think is what it's called. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure someone else out there knows what it's called. But I'm just gonna be crocheting this top part. And then for the skirt, I'm going to be using some lace tulle that I bought at Hobby Lobby. And for the top, I will be using this, I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby. If you're familiar with my blog, you know I use this a lot. It's a really great yarn, excellent price, goes on sale all the time, very affordable, and it holds up very well for washing. Great for baby blankets and all sorts of things. I'm using it in warm blush, and I think it's gonna pair really nicely with this serene spa color that I use for these shorts for my son. And I'm going to try to make them, I want them to look like they go together. So I'm gonna try to take some elements from this, like the aesthetics of it, to incorporate into her dress. All right, so let's get started. I'm not very good at drawing, so please excuse that. But so right here, it's just gonna be like my lace tulle. And then up here will be crocheted. And then I was thinking for this part right here, for the little ruffle on the top, maybe doing some sort of like shell stitch to just kind of match like the femininity of this lace that's gonna be on the skirt. Have my 6mm crochet hook, my yarn, tape measure, the tulle, and of course I'll need scissors and all that stuff, but we'll get that later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work a foundation single crochet chain to be the same size as this like waistline. So I'm going to do a foundation single crochet that is 18.5 inches long, and then I'm going to join it together. All right, so I have my foundation single crochet that is 18.5 inches, and I am going to join it on this end. And then what I'll do later is, because see how there's like kind of a gap, when I weave this in, I'm gonna like kind of secure it better there so it's not that weird gap. But the first row, I am going to do a single crochet row in the back loop. All right, so I'm back here. I will secure it, join the round. All right, and so this next row, I'm gonna do a double crochet in the back loop, and I'm going to continue this for, let's figure that out. Okay, so it looks like the armhole here is about 1 inch, 1 1/4. This. So I'm gonna continue probably for like another couple of rows until I get to 1 1/4 inches. So maybe 2 more rows, we'll see. All right, so now I've reached the 1 1/4 inches to the underarm where I need to begin shaping that 5 stitches over. So I'm going to chain 1 and slip stitch in the first 5. The only reason why I wanted to chain 1 is so that I could easily find that again to connect it later. Chain 1, and then I'm going to double crochet across until, now I'm just going to start slip stitching for 10 stitches across the underarm to All right, so now on to the next row. First, I'm going to slip stitch in the first 5 stitches for the underarm, and then I'm going to single crochet in the back loop only, all the way to the stitch marker, then slip stitch 10 for the other underarm. Then I will single crochet in the back loop only until 5 stitches remain, and I will slip stitch in those last 5 for the other part of the underarm. All right, for the next row, we're going to do exactly the same thing we did for the previous row, except on the very front part, we are going to work a double crochet in the back loop only instead of a single crochet. All right, so what I decided was this is going to be the back, so I'm just going to do single crochets on the back from the here on out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a chain to finish off this armhole and connect it over here, and then I'll start working on top of that chain from here on out. All right, so I just chained 30, and it's going to create about a 4-inch loop like I'm going for, or armhole. All right, and so I'm going to continue on alternating rows between single and double crochets in the back loop on the front, and then in the back I'm just going to do single crochets from here on out after I make the second chain 30 loop for the armhole. All right, so now I'm at this armhole chain. I think I'm going to work in the back bump just so it has a clean edge, and I'm just going to single crochet across. All right, so it was a little bit more tricky working in the back bump, but I definitely think it was worth it because it made such a clean edge that I really like. And now I'm back at the front. But what I just did, I just want to explain what I did and what I'm gonna do, and when I'll cut back on the camera. So what I just did was I single crocheted 3 together so that I would kind of like slope inward. That makes sense. And then I'm just going to continue doing the single crochet and double crochet alternating rows on the front. And then when I get over here, I'm going to single crochet in the back loop across after I single crochet 3 together. So probably these 2 and this stitch right here, I will single crochet 3 together, and then across the back, and then single crochet in the back loop across this row. And then when I get to this, I'll probably continue that single crochet in the back loop across, and then decrease again right here. And I'll probably do that for another 2 rows until I see what I get. And then I will come back with the camera when it's time to do the little like ruffle, and when I decide what exactly I'm gonna do with that. But for now, I'm gonna go run some errands with the family and work on this in the car. All right, so I'm back today. It's a new day, and I think I'm done with the top. This is the progress I made. This is the back, and this is where I stopped right there. And I did end up doing single crocheting 3 together for the strap all the way around. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4 rows for the straps. And this is the front, and I just continued to alternate the single crochet and double crochet rows while keeping the strap single crochet the whole time. But I think it gives me a really good base to do like a really frilly, pretty girly border right here. So I'm gonna get started with that. Not really a fan. I think I like the spacing, but I need to reduce the spacing actually. And I need to work in the front loop. So what I'm doing here is I'm working shell stitches all the way around by working 4 double crochets in the front loop of this designated stitch with a 2 chain gap in between each shell stitch. And I'll work that all the way around and connect it at the end and move on to round 2. All right, so that's the first row, and moving on to the next. So I'm going to chain 4. That initial chain that counted as a double crochet, or a double crocheted 4, 5 total if you count the chain. And then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to double crochet 5 in this gap. So we're increasing in this row to create that really pretty texture. All right, so now row 3 of the little French. So I'm going to 3 work 5 double crochets right here. And then after that, I'll chain 2 this time. All right, so 5 double crochets, chain 2, and now I'm gonna work 6 in this chain 1 spot. All right, that looks great. Exactly what I'm going for. So next, I'm going to go back and I'm going to single crochet around this edge. All right, so I'm gonna do 1 more row of single crochets around, but I'm gonna decrease in the 4 like little corners, just to ensure that it shapes well. And then later when she wakes up from her nap, I will try it on her and see if I need to add more rows in the neckline. So I'm gonna work in the back loop again, continue that texture. So I just started off by single crocheting 3 together. All right, so I just joined the chain 1 at the beginning of the row. And I'm just gonna put a stitch marker in because I kind of wanna try it on my daughter at this point and see if maybe I do need to shape it in a little bit more. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start cutting the strips of the lace for the skirt. Worry about this not being wide enough, but luckily cotton is very forgiving. And this dress was a little big on her still, so Yeah, I think we're looking good though. The armholes, I kept them really loose for now because I figured if, after I try it on her, I can always come in and I can like make it a lot smaller right there really easily. Now let's move on to the skirt. So I'm gonna start by measuring. Now I will say this skirt was a little long for the dress itself. It was a little long on her for her age and just because she's like not fully walking yet. So I might make mine down to here, the bottom of this fabric, which is 9 inches. So I'm gonna cut my tulle in strips of 18 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut one and attach it and see how I like it. I wonder if there's a way to soften this. Not as soft as I was hoping for. And of course in the store it's like wrapped in plastic, so there was like only so much I could move the plastic up to feel it. Let's just go ahead and attach one. See how I like it, and then we'll Google if it's possible to soften this stuff because honestly, I'm a little worried. This whole project relies on this and it's a little rough for a baby's skin. So I was not taking into account the fold or the tie. So I think I might make it a little bit longer, like 20 inches. Okay, so Google says that I could steam it or dry it. Good to know.
After I cut the tulle into 21-inch strips, I decided to wash it and then dry it with a fabric softener sheet. And so I folded it in half to soak it just so that that crease would be there ready for the fold. So while I was softening the tulle, I went ahead and I added an extra chain along the bottom of the dress because I didn't want it to kind of pull and make a hole on the dress. I wanted it to be a really seamless transition to the skirt. So what I did was I chained 6 and I skipped 2 stitches and then I single crocheted in that third stitch and I repeated that across.
It's another new day and I finished my dress. It looks amazing. I'm so incredibly happy with it. It couldn't have turned out better. Have like this gorgeous little racer back. Of course, I still need to weave in my ends. Gonna procrastinate that probably till the last minute, but yeah, and just the neckline, that's the back. And here's the front. And I think the skirt turned out perfect. So I highly recommend if you're gonna make a dress like this, that you do what I did by chaining to attach the tulle, so then it's not gonna create like massive gaping holes in your stitches on the very bottom. It's kind of hidden and it looks very intentional and it looks like you could literally buy this in a fancy children's boutique. But I am so thrilled, and I have about 1 ounce of yarn left, so used about 2.5 ounces. And I plan on later adding up how long it took me to make it and I'll insert that below because I know that's a common question. Every time I make something, people always ask, how long did it take? How long did it take? So I started it on Sunday morning and today's Tuesday morning. I finished it last night. And of course, I'm a mom, so I can't always finish things in a timely manner, but it's great. It's perfect. I would highly recommend making this dress and giving it as a baby shower gift because it would just make gorgeous decoration in any little girl's nursery. any little girl, this would be just perfect. And then it's something that they can grow up into. And if you make the same size that I did, that's usually by that time kids are all walking. So I highly recommend making it more so for a baby that's walking and not so much crawling, because this is just a recipe to get destroyed crawling. But yeah, I'm just very, very happy, and I recommend you trying out to make your own. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I would really appreciate it if you would stick around and subscribe to my channel and like this video. It means the world to me, and I would love to continue making videos just like this. So see you next time, and have a great day.